Hey, she's right back like she never left, man. I had the Olivia Vandergriff coming back for episode number two, man. First off, we had to catch up, man. It's been 2 years, 2 whole years since the first time she was on here. So last time we talked, she was fresh off a state championship. She was going into her senior year, trying to see if they can go back to back. She had just committed to Lipscomb University, D1, and we were just kind of getting her reaction from a state championship and seeing what she projected going forward and why she made her commitment and everything. So 2 years later, man, she has just finished her sophomore. I mean, she tripping. She just finished her freshman year. Um, so just giving like the reaction and feedback of that roller coaster ride of freshman year, and she has a couple NIL deals, and just catching up on her life, man, her growth and her progression and everything. So that's my little homie, that's my little sister, man. So it was fun recording this episode with her. It was dope to catch up publicly like this, and y'all kind of got to see our relationship a little bit, man. But that's my homie, man. So it was dope to talk to her again, episode number two. I know you guys will appreciate it. To see her evolution and growth, and you guys get to see the development and maturity that she saw. So if you saw her, episode one, to see her again, not episode two, you see the growth and evolution into her. So learn about her experience in college and the wake up call she had going into this new environment called college basketball, going against grown women like this. So it was a dope episode. I know you're going to enjoy it. So stay tuned. Appreciate you for tuning in. Have a good one. Yo, what is going on, man? I am BeBall Jones. I am simply a basketball trainer that is here to bring you the blueprint, the stories, and the mindset to help you make progress in your game. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's get it. Olivia, what's good, homie?
What's going on? Everything's good.
I know, man. You've been out here balling in the streets, man, since we last talked on here.
2 years ago. Crazy.
I know. The craziest part about all this, man, you have grown so much and developed so much personally and in your life. And I'm proud of you, as your big bro. You out here getting NIL bags, out here balling on D1 level, doing your thing. I'm proud of you, man.
Well, look at you. Already starting the statement game, still training, still got it going on. Gotta give this guy his flowers first.
Listen, this ain't about me. This is it's gonna have your name as your episode. This ain't about me. Okay. It's all about you. But I do appreciate that.
Of course, you gotta get your flowers in. Come on.
At some point, yeah. But we focused on you right now. Okay. So what are we gonna talk about first? We're gonna talk about the bag you've been getting to. We're gonna talk about your experience in college. We're gonna talk about what we talk about first, man. Let me know.
Gosh, I mean, there's so much to talk about. So I don't know. First, I don't know. We can start off with whatever, honestly.
All right. So talk to me about your experience. Like you're done with your first year, and talk to me about like your experience now, first year through college period, at the college ball level. Talk to me about that.
First year was so much fun. Like, literally, it was so much fun, but it was tough. It was very hard. Like, some days, like, I just did not have it. So I'm not going to put on a front and be like, oh, yeah, it was the easiest thing ever. Every day was rainbows. I'm not going to say that. But it was definitely a learning experience and just, like, overall growing, like, living away from home for the first time, like, not going home to my parents every day and say, like, being able to just, like, see them, or I guess, like, honestly just living in a dorm and, like, having to figure out what I'm going to eat every day, like, just new stuff like that. So probably the biggest thing, though, was, like, mentally just, like, within the court, like, mentally just having to, like, adjust to, like, you're playing against grown women.
Mm-hmm.
And especially now, with COVID and red shirts and all this, some girls are like 24, 25 out here, and I was 19. I was like, this is crazy. Like, oh my gosh. But no, it was good, and I definitely would not go back and change it for anything, and I'm really glad. I think the Lord, like, really was using it to shape me and, like, turn me into who He needed me to be for the next chapter, next season of my life. So.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you were prepared for it, like for everything that came and happened?
I mean, mentally, honestly, like there's nothing that's gonna prepare you for it. Like, I'll be so honest. You just have to go through it. Like, you just gotta go through the fire and you just gotta say, okay, like I'm just going through it. Like,
Mhm.
it is what it is. Um, Physically, I feel like I was in shape. I feel like I was fine with that. And you know how we work. So, like the workouts weren't too much of like a absolute jump or anything like that. But I would just say mentally, like I struggled to like move on from mistakes because I was like, oh, I'm just a freshman, blah, blah, blah. And then the only physical thing is like in high school, I could get to the rim and like I could body girls. And here, like at the college level, I'm not bodying nobody. Like I gotta get in the weight room. But I would say, yeah, those two big things.
Talk to me about that mental adjustment. Because we kind of talked about that a little bit, as we talked about your year, moving through and stuff. But what was like that first hit of being like, okay, you made a mistake in high school, you were able to move on from it. But now, what happened from senior year, making mistakes, you kind of were able to move on from it to now freshman year? Like, what was like that change that happened between there?
Well, I think like coming out of high school, you have all this confidence in the world because I mean you're at the top. Everybody that plays Division 1 was probably, if not the best, one of the best players at their high school. So you have all this confidence, and then you come out here, and all these girls they have the same amount of confidence, and they're just as good. They're better. They're more experienced. They're bigger, stronger, faster, whatever. And so I think like just I struggled because I was like, oh, like all these girls are just as good. Like, and it was just different for me being surrounded by girls with, the same, absolutely same skill set and all that for me. So I was like, when I messed up, there's somebody behind me that's like, okay, go get her. And like, she's, if not better, she's just as good. So it was kind of just making that adjustment. It was like, okay, I need to have enough confidence in myself and in my work to know that like I belong out here and like I'm like the Lord put me out here for a reason. Like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And so I think that's the different approach that I'll be able to take this year is like I belong out here and like okay, I had a year to grow and to learn and to go through the fire and I'm ready to go now, I hope.
Yeah, I think we all hit that certain wall where, or at least most of us do, where it's like you feel uncertain because this is a new environment. Like you said, high school, you kind of know you top dog. You didn't been through there 4 or 5 years. You established yourself. Like you have a certain expectation going out there, and you come into a new environment, and it's like, oh, this is like you a shark. You feel me in high school,
Yeah.
and you not around other sharks, but then you come to college, and it's like, oh, it's like all of y'all are sharks. Oh, snap! This is like it's a shock
Yeah.
to you. I think we all go through that experience in whatever factor of our life, and that's kind of like the fork in the road. Like, how do you handle that? Decides a lot of things moving forward. So, what led you to keep going down that path of like, I'm still gonna be here, I'm not gonna quit, versus not going to versus actually quitting?
Yeah. I mean, we kind of talked about it like a couple weeks ago and I was like, I don't know how I should approach like this and like how do I just how should I like really mentally approach this, and we were kind of just we talked and it was like I got to be the player that my coaching staff needs me to be before I can be anything else. And so obviously it's no question like what my job here at Lipscomb is to do. And so I think I have to just really lock in on being the best version of who they need me to be, being the best version of, Lipscomb Olivia that I can be. I'm not Gunnersville Olivia anymore. And so it's just kind of growing out of that and like putting my pride to the side, putting my ego to the side and, just putting my head down and working and grinding and, saying like, okay, like, yeah, there's gonna be days, and yeah, it's gonna be hard, but it's gonna be worth it. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna say I left nothing in the tank. So
Hmm.
I there's no way I was about to just give up or anything like that.
Yeah, I think that, like you said, that pride is the toughest part because, like, it's the identity issue that all hoopers kind of go through. It's different ways we deal with it, but for you to be able to, like, in your mind, take off, you know, high school Gunnersville Olivia hat and put on a new Lipscomb hat Olivia, it's like that's not an easy transition to do because you're used to doing, for the most part, whatever you want to in high school. It's
Oh, for sure, yeah.
you had the keys to the car, you feel me? So coach like, hey, Olivia, you got it. So now it's like you're not even the passenger driver. You like third row now because you're a freshman. So it's like,
Yeah.
man, I'm back here, bro. I'm used to being air conditioning in the front. I'm used to control. I'm getting hot. I can change. It's getting cold. I can change windows up, down, control the music. You get all that stuff. So now it's like, oh, I only get snacks. I get the crumbs of the snacks now. All right, like, golly. So I think that's a tough transition. Um, but I know it wasn't easy to deal with that and process that. So what was that like for you to mentally and emotionally grasp like, okay, I cannot be I can't identify myself as that Olivia anymore. How did you transition from high school to freshman with that mentality?
Yeah, I mean, like, I struggled, like, 100%. I struggled with that, and then, like, just having my confidence when I was actually out on the floor because I was like, "Oh, shoot," I remember one time, I think I forgot coach put me in, and I'm pretty sure I forgot to take my warm-up off. I was so, like, nervous, and so it was just nerves and like anxiety that would just like weigh on me because I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. And then like finally it was just like I'm here like for a reason. Like the Lord put me here. I'm here at this time right now for a reason. And I just gotta get everything I possibly can get out of it. And so I think just trusting and knowing like I'm not here because some chance or anything like that. It's like I belong here and I'm here and like the ways that I can contribute to the team aren't always going to be on the court. Like even just like building relationships with my teammates and like making sure that like our team is all good and things like that and like it's I think I just realized like it's not basketball isn't going to be life or death and like one day the ball is going to stop bouncing. So like I can't let it just like consume me and make me like this unhappy person.
Yeah, because can I be real with you? Like publicly right here?
Come on, bro.
I mean, I know we have our real conversations, but I mean like publicly. I ain't trying to, out you like that. So we
No,
can
go
do
ahead. This is a real podcast. We gotta be authentic.
all right. So what you just mentioned is like always been the thing that bothers me the most about you. Is because you put in so much work and you work your butt off. Like you outworking girls left and right. Like there's obvious. Like we know that. But you second guess and doubt yourself so much. But don't get me wrong, I completely understand.
Oh yeah.
So I'm here with you. But it still bothers me because I'm like, bro, you can kill. Like you just but you're so nice and it's like, oh, I just want to fit in. I don't want to, man, forget all that, bro. Like just go kill. And that's always been the thing that bothered me about you since like probably when we first met, when we first started talking, I was working with you and stuff. I'm like, bro, you can kill 9 out of 10 girls you're gonna be lining up against. Only one of them out there can probably be in your level with stuff, but you're just so um, fixated on not stepping on toes and coming off the wrong way. I'm just like, who cares? We're on. This is enemies out here. We're just trying to destroy them.
Yeah.
And as good as you are, you hold yourself back because of certain mentalities that you have. And that's been the thing that I always been kind of on you about. I'm like, bro, like, stop passing. Just go kill. Like,
Yeah, I think I've definitely had to work on that, and I think I'm getting to a place where I'm, getting a little bit better about it and I'm just, having that like it just is what it is. Like you just gotta sometimes you just got to do you. And I don't even like that saying really, but I mean
mm,
sometimes you gotta focus on you and you gotta get things done. So I'm kinda starting to come around to it a little bit. But I think that's gonna be probably probably my biggest thing Is just
Mhm.
go kill.
Yeah. Because a lot of times with you, I know this because I'm the same way. It's like you don't have the external problems and challenges. Not as heavy. Like it's not that she's locking you up and she's just playing this amazing defense. It's just you being in your head and getting in your own way. It's not that coach is doing anything. It's Olivia doing or not doing this. And I'm
Yeah.
the exact same way. And I'm like, bruh, if you would just like stop thinking this way and then think that way, totally different player.
Yeah,
So
sometimes
you
you
have to
gotta
find
turn
that
this bad
balance.
boy off.
Yeah. Because you're so smart and you just analyze things a certain way. And it's like, I wish you would just stop analyzing sometimes and trying to process things through that lens and just like go hoop. Because
Yeah.
when you turn your brain off and just hoop, that's when it's
Yeah.
fun to watch you because you just hoop.
And another thing that, like, honestly, that I've noticed is, like, when I'm just, like, having fun and I'm talking and, just, like, actually enjoying being out on the court, oh my gosh, like, when basketball is so fun, like, you're so much better at it, if that makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's just easier to talk to your teammates while you're out there, to talk on defense and to, make the right plays when you're just out there having fun. And so that's another thing. Is like, I love basketball and I want to be out here, and like I just got to have fun with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the sooner you kind of realize what your mental and emotional state is, like the trying to get too wordy here, like the optimum zone for you to be in mentally and emotionally, you start to realize like your superpower, and then you unlock your next superpower, then you unlock your next superpower. So me, I'm always pretty calm and chill. Like when I'm playing for real, I'm not talking a whole lot. I'm just playing the game, hooping. Of course, I'm talking like within basketball terms, but I ain't talking
Yeah.
trash, nothing like that. I'm just out here doing what I gotta do. We done hooping. All right, packing my ball, going home. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I'm more of like a just I ain't got nothing to say. You talking trash, cool, but I'm just trying to hoop and go home. And for
Yeah.
you're a life of the party type of person. You're gonna have fun, talk a little more energetic. Yeah, that's more of you. So you can't get away from that because now you're not being Olivia. Olivia
Yeah.
is, she's chill, she's happy, she's a little more free, and she's talking. B is quiet, chill, go do what you gotta do and go back home. So if
Yeah.
you're not gonna be you emotionally, it's gonna be hard not to be you as a player too. So you taking away from who you are, you taking away from who you are, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's different for everybody. Like me and you look completely different. And so, I mean, it's different for every player, but I think just like figuring out like when you have the most fun, that's when you're going to be at your best. And that's when you're going to be most confident, when you're just being yourself out there. And so that's something else I've really tried to work on. And I'm excited to take it into our summer session and really try to focus on that.
Yeah, because it's gonna be fun to see you actually be you and play your game. Because as my little sister, I'm always gonna be supportive of you and proud of you no matter what. But it's
Oh,
like that next level of, dang, I see her doing her thing. Like even with last year, still proud of you. Like there was no drop in the level of, like my heart still is like, I see you, dog. Like I still felt that no matter what.
yeah.
And then no matter what happens next year, this upcoming year, it's like no matter what, same thing. But it's just a little different when you actually going out there and killing and fully playing your game. So
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
gonna be like, I see you, man. Like it's my dog. Like, yes. So I'm ready for that part to happen now. It's like, okay, that's the player I've been talking about. That's the player I've been waiting to see.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So we got to get back to it. Okay, that's the plan for this year. Some level of that we got to get
That's
there.
the blueprint. We'll see.
Hey, hold on. Time out real quick. We're going to get back to the episode. I know you're enjoying it. I know you're enjoying the show. But I need you to help me real quick and to make sure that this episode can grow, make sure this podcast and show can grow overall, and you can keep getting great guests like this. Make sure that you subscribe and follow along. So if you watch right now on YouTube, help me out by hitting the subscribe button. Go ahead and do it real quick. If you're listening in your car, chill out for a second. If you're on Apple or on Spotify, just like when you get a moment, hit the follow button, but not right now while you're driving. If you're working out or something, or you're chilling in your room, then go ahead and subscribe with me. Like, help me help you, okay? But thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. I'm gonna stop interrupting. Let's get back to the episode. Thank you. let's go back to that physical change you talking about. We kind of got through the mental. Then you got big girl out there on the court. What was that like?
Yeah. I mean, in high school, I was like, dang, why? I was thinking like I'm kind of a big guard. Like I kind of get to the rim. Like, I'm bumping these girls. Like I'm getting charges called because I'm just, throwing them across the lane when I drive in. And now I can remember like one of the first practices. Like I was obviously, I was still trying to do the moves I did in high school, and I tried to do one move, and I tried to, like body into this girl and go up, and like she didn't move, and I was like, oh, I can't do that anymore. And so, I've learned like I'm gonna have to get stronger, and I've never been the quickest, and I probably never will be the quickest. But I got to get quicker, laterally, like defensively. Like I'm getting like torched because like I'm not quick enough, or I'm just getting bodied because I'm a little bit smaller. So that was my two things that last summer I was like, oh shoot, like okay, like here we go, and so just physically, like you're just playing grown women, and they've been playing this at this level for longer than you have. So that was kind of just like, ooh, reality check, boom, okay. So this season, like I got like addicted to the weight room, and I was like, I gotta get stronger, I gotta get stronger, I gotta get stronger. So that was like a big emphasis. And then like also like just eating more food. Like it was crazy. I was having to eat like 25 to like 3,000 calories a day. So I was getting up there. And so I think I ended up putting on like 3 or 4 pounds. So I'm happy with it, but hopefully I can just get it to translate to the court.
Okay, big girl, you trying to eat like me, man? Like
It was
that's
crazy. I
some.
was like, I can't eat that much. And then like, but now I'm to the point where I can. But at first I was like, oh, I hate this, but I'm okay with it now, and I like it.
Yeah, I think that's another thing that's difficult to kind of grasp because it's tough to be like, um, you think you're strong until you come and get stronger, and that's kind of like a wake up call because it depends on your game too. So some players a little more finesse and they're a little bit more. I can't really do as well with contact, But
Mhm.
like you said, with you, you're not the fastest or the quickest, so it's like, oh, I gotta figure out how to get this angle, but I'm not able to just speed around the girl like I'm used to. So I gotta get my bump, and it's like, oh, the bump ain't here. I bumped, but she's still right there, and like I ain't going
Yeah,
nowhere either. So matter of fact, I bumped her, and I'm the one that moved back. I'm like, hold on, bro. Like,
yeah, literally. Because one big thing our coaches put an emphasis on is like keep your line, keep your line, keep your line.
mm,
I'm like, I'm getting bumped off my line. Like I can't stay on my line. I'm barely staying on my line. But no, at first it was like a really big, like wake up call. So I've gotten a little
yeah,
better at it. I hope we'll see.
yeah. That's a big thing I preach to my players when I'm training them because they just drive into the goal kind of reckless, and they're just like doing the same exact thing the entire time. Like, do you not realize you keep moving further and further away from the goal? And it's like, no, I'm trying to get a layup. You laying up from the 3-point line. What we doing here, man? You getting bumped off your line that far.
I'm
So
saying,
once you
yeah,
get the concept down of like, okay, I have to be a little more physical, a little bit smart about keeping your line. Like you already there mentally, but then it's like physically, like, oh snap, I'm not able to do it. Now let me get in the weight room, but let me get a little more in tune with my body to be able to make this move now. So I know how you feel on that one. I know that was a good adjustment for you.
oh yeah.
So when you first started to go through that weight room process of like, okay, let me get stronger, let me get, bulked up a little bit. What was the mental challenge with that? Because I know for me, um, trying to, put weight on is like a whole challenge because I'm used to like the mindset and habits of being slim is what I had to overcome. So
Mm-hmm.
like I'm used to being skipping breakfast here and there, or I ain't hungry, so I'll probably eat one meal that day, and it's just you don't do what you need to do to consistently do that. So what was it like for you kind of mentally adjusting to the new mindset of like, big guard Olivia?
Big guard. I don't know about all that, but yeah, I think, as obviously as like a girl and a female, it's like, gosh, I don't want to get too bulky. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
blah blah blah. But I think honestly, I don't even know if it's possible. Like, I mean, genetically, you've seen both my parents, so you know, every day my feet hit the ground out of the bed, I'm fighting my genetics. But uh, I just think I had to just was like, okay, it's fine. Like, if I want to play basketball, I got to get into the weight room. And so I got to the point where I was like, I want like to get stronger. I want to look like I lift, blah blah blah. But and like I when we sit down, like me and all my teammates, like we eat a lot of food. I'll be honest, like we can tear it up. And so
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't like I'm insecure, like I'm eating more, like I have to eat more than all my friends, blah blah blah. Like, so I didn't have to go through that, but it was just, I think mentally, once I got past the, oh, I don't want to get bulky, blah blah, like it was like, okay, first of all, I have to eat an adequate amount of food because my body needs it. Like, I saw this thing and it was like, I eat so I can work out. Like, I'm not working out so I can eat. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I need like the right types of food, the right types of, macronutrients and micronutrients, blah blah, whatever, to fuel my body so that I can get the best out of every single workout I'm doing. So I think turning that switch in my brain was like a big like, okay, here we go. And then I just kind of fell in love with it, honestly.
I hear you with the science talk, the macros and micros. I see you.
Yes.
I see
I'm a,
you.
I'm a big kind of a nerd when it comes to all that stuff. I like learning about it and stuff like that.
Because I know for a lot of ladies, like you said, it's that insecurity of like, I don't want to bulk up. I'm trying to not look too manly. And then, they're concerned about, do you take protein powder? You take protein
Mhm.
powder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so many just ladies scared of protein powder. I'm like, bro, this is not steroids. It's not from the,
Yeah. I mean,
like,
literally, it's just protein, and you gotta have that anyways. So
yeah. So it's just, that's a whole different challenge trying to get ladies to understand that. They're like, oh, that's for guys. So it's just like some steroid thing. I'm like, no, bro. Like,
it's
it's
literally
just,
just protein isolate, like the same thing
yeah.
you're
So
getting if you go eat chicken.
but it's tough to kind of get some people to understand that. So it's kind of cool to see like your mental processing of all these things. Because I know high school you were just like, whatever. But
Yeah.
now you're in college and you're like, oh, not only do I need to eat, but I need to eat more and eat more of the right things too.
Yep.
Especially when you're in college, you got that freedom now. That's a whole different mindset game.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah. But I like to say I'm pretty disciplined with it. So I think like once you just like start eating right, like you just start feeling so much better with like every single workout. And like now I cannot imagine eating like fast food all the time or something like that.
man, like, okay, I had McDonald's for the first time in years. And I mean like years. But here's the thing though. I didn't have money and somebody else paid for it. So I'm like, I
Okay.
gotta eat, you
You
feel
got
me? So I'm just like, all right, cool. And my stomach was like, but don't do it again. I'm like, sorry, buddy. I know. So so I'm just I didn't know how far I came from my body being, I'm not saying I'm eating perfect. Like you saw what I was eating before we got on here. I'm eating pizza. So I'm still not eating the cleanest of food, but I'm not McDonald's eating all the time.
yeah.
And
And it don't even like gotta be 100. Like it's like a lot of people like that 80-20 rule or like 90-10,
mhm,
whatever, blah blah. So, you know, it's only as hard as you make it, honestly.
yeah, I think that's the biggest thing I try to tell people when they start talking about working out and nutrition and stuff. I'm like, you don't have to go 0 to 100. Like some people are cold turkey. I'm not eating any of that stuff. If that works for you, do your thing. I'm not here to change your mind. Like that's you cool. But I know how I am. I think of lifestyle. So I'm not gonna sit here and not enjoy my chocolate or my cake. Never. Like not a sicko. Come on, man. Like I
Like,
enjoy the
oh,
delicacies of life.
I'll be having
Like
some ice cream, cookies.
you
Like,
feel me?
I
Hey,
can't turn it down, but I just can't be every week living off of it.
exactly. And so that's what I try to get people to understand. Like you can still enjoy these things, but everything in moderation. I don't have to go crazy with it, but enjoy it enough to where it's not going to overdo the rest of the work that you put in. And then
Yeah.
even if you slip up and go crazy one weekend, if you did, like you said, the 80-20 and you did enough of the 80%, going over to doing 25% is not going to hurt you because it's a
Yeah.
lifestyle mentality. And it's a tough conversation to have with some people because they just so stuck on, oh, I have to be disciplined. Bro, you still disciplined. It's not, you're not going to lose 10 weeks worth of working out, eating right off of one weekend.
Yeah.
As long as you get back on track with that. Don't go too crazy now.
Yeah,
But,
for real.
you know.
Got to get back to it. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people get confused, with all that. But it's got to be a lifestyle. You can't just go 0 to 100 and be like, I'm gonna live like this forever.
Yeah. Well, speaking of lifestyle and, upgrading things, somebody got a little NIL bag, little NIL deal, pertaining to some, which one you want to do first? You want to do the drink first or the other one first? What do you want to talk about first?
We'll just go in chronological order. So we'll talk about Olipop first.
All right. Okay. So for those who don't know, Olivia has a NIL deal with Lollipop. So I'll let you get the details of that because I don't really know.
Like of how the deal came about, or like what Olipop is.
Both.
Okay, so Olipop is like they brand it as the new kind of soda. So it's not, all sugary and stuff like that. I think it's got like 2 to 5 grams of sugar, and then it's got like 9 grams of fiber, and like obviously fiber is like a big thing to like keep you satiated and stuff like that. But and then they also help it. They brand it to like help. Actually, let me just right there. So it's supposed to help like with like dietary like indigestion and things like that. So it's just like a soda alternative, really. And so I was like, you know what, I can get behind that. Like, I mean, come on, and gut health and all that. Everybody's going crazy about gut health right now. So, but what happens is Lipscomb is partnered with this platform called 98 Strong, and brands will go to 98 Strong and like I think like look at our profile and kind of see like, oh, does this athlete fit what we're trying to push? And so then they'll say Lipscomb like, hey, send this out to your athletes and see if they want to get on board with us. And so that's what they did. And Lipscomb reached out to me, and then they're like, hey, do you want to do this? And then I was like, I mean, yeah, sure, like, of course. So then I got in touch with Olipop, and we kind of worked some stuff out to whatever. And then I made a little post on Instagram, promoting it, and they sent me a couple cases of drinks. So that was really cool, just kind of getting into the business aspect of it. And I don't know, I mean, obviously I'm an athlete and I love basketball, but it is cool like getting to see like a little bit of what kind of business doors it's opened.
So what's been your favorite flavor so far of Lollipop?
Oh, gosh, the Sprite one's good. The lemon lime one is pretty good, but the peaches and cream was my campaign, so I like get to really push peaches and cream, which I like it too. It's number 2, but I gotta be rocking with the lemon lime first.
Okay. So do you have like a promo code or anything, like a discount for the people?
Not with Olipop. I don't have a promo code with Olipop, but I mean, honestly, they're kind of sold in like different grocery stores, like Sprouts and Whole Foods and Target, places like that. So
Okay, so um You shoot me the link, and we'll make sure the people get it below. So they want to get some lollipop based off of you and your deal. Want to show some love to you, go ahead and get the opportunity to do it there.
Sure.
So, anything else you want to say about them with that brand deal?
I don't think so.
Mm.
Just had to give a little overview. That's all.
Okay, so let's move on to bag number 2. Let's talk about that one.
We can't be calling them bags. That's crazy. But
Okay, let's talk about partnership number 2. Is that
there
better?
we go. There we go. The most recent one I just got to do a little partnership with is called Drink Kingdom, and it's a supplement and vitamin brand based company. And one of my coaches, actually, her brother started it, and I think the concept of it is just super cool. So 10% of like every purchase that's made, 10% of that goes to these churches and helping them fund mission trips. And so it's kind of like you're buying great supplements and you're kind of tithing at the same time. So I don't really think it gets any better than that, honestly. So I was just really excited to like be a part of their concept, and I hope it's really new. Like it's brand new, and so we're just trying to grow it a little bit. And I'm excited to get to kind of be like a athlete for their brand, and I hope that we're able to make it really big because just the concept of it's a really awesome idea.
So, when you're partnering with them, what made you align with that one so much too? Like, why did that one stick out to you and say, I have to be a part of this?
Well, first of all, obviously, like we talked, like I'm big into the weight room now and things like that. So, one thing I take is like creatine, and so they have creatine, they have pre-workout, they have protein powder, so they have like all these supplements that I'm using anyways. And then on top of that, their concept of like tithing to the church, giving to mission trips, like I think one of their like sayings is like working out with like a bigger purpose, and like really it is like when you buy their supplements, like you really are like being able to like let it feed into something bigger than just you. And like I'm using supplements like that anyway, so why not, so I thought it was just awesome.
Mm. I like that. That's actually pretty dope. I think the concept of that one is creative, and so I do rock with that one. And that's the one you do have a little promo code with.
Yeah, so like if you use code like OVANDY number 0 with like the hashtag, not the word number, but OVANDY hashtag 0, you'll get 20% off of your purchase. So use it.
All right, so we're gonna have that one below too, so the people can get a little discount, off of your name, off of your brand deal.
Link it up.
So,
Link it up.
yeah. So, anything else you got partner with? Anything business stuff going on?
No, not really. The only business thing beside that's going on is my introduction to business class that I'm taking right now. It's whooping me a little bit, but we're getting through it.
What's been the adjustment school wise? Because I know that's a whole different struggle, or not struggle, a whole different challenge on its own. Because with you doing so much outside of regular classroom stuff, you got practice, weight room, trying to have your level of a social life. How are you managing the challenge of school with all of these other things going on too?
Oh gosh, I've never just been an avid school lover. I go so I can play basketball, I guess. No, I'm playing. I'm not really playing, but it's like 50-50. But
I feel you. No worries. I feel you.
I mean, I feel like most people get that. But I don't know. I mean, college classes, like most of mine have been online, so it honestly hasn't been that much different from high school because we went through COVID, and so we went to school online. So it hasn't been that much different. Obviously, the work And honestly, the workload isn't that much different, but the quality of work that your professors want versus what your high school teachers wanted is a lot different. I've here we are, Christian University, so we have like 3 mandatory Bible classes that we have to take. But I think they just want you to think a lot deeper than high school teachers wanted me to. So that's been a struggle because I'm like, I'd rather just, slap something down on the paper and turn it in. But that was probably my biggest thing is okay, I gotta really think about how I'm about to answer all these prompts to write these questions. And then lecture classes, them things, they're an animal. It takes everything inside of me to stay awake. And not because it's boring, but just sitting there for an hour and a half is not easy.
I do not miss college at all. That's one thing. At least the classes, I'll say. I do not miss college classes because, like you said, having to sit there through a lecture, it's just something about my brain just can't get along with doing that.
Oh,
And
mine.
almost every class, if it was like you said, hour and a half, 90 minutes, my brain's like, nah, bro, I'm finna take a nap or something. But I need to pay attention because I do have to get graded on this. But my brain just won't mesh well with having to do this. So I feel for you, man.
Yeah,
it's rough.
And if my coaches are watching, y'all go ahead and skip this part. But I remember we'll be sitting in there and my teammate will be like, wake up, tapping me wake up, and I'm like, I'm awake, barely. But hey, we had all A's and B's, can't complain. So we made it through.
Mm-hmm. Well, salute to you. Making it through. You survived freshman. Because honestly, freshman year is the best/worst year because it's the best year because you get that first taste of that freedom, and it's like, oof, I'm away from parents. I get this, and then you got one class, and you might not have another class for 5 hours. It's like, oh snap, I'm done for how long? Oh snap. Or you might have one class a day and that's it.
Yeah.
But it also sucks too because you don't have that as often as you do later on. So freshman, you're gonna have all the little boring classes you got to take, and then your schedule's a little more loaded than it would be later on. So once you get later on in classes, you might have one class this day, 2 classes the next day, no classes that day, and then one more class the next day. That's when it gets a little more fun, but it's more challenging because now you have to manage having a job around with that too, and managing I know for you still got to manage ball too, but then it's your classes are going to be harder.
Oh yeah.
Oh snap! What is going on? You got 2 classes that's really stressing you out, and the other 2 might not be as hard. So it kind of balances itself out, but it still sucks because, and my school's hard, hard for no reason. So it's just ridiculous, and so that's why freshman year is the best and worst year. But then it's later on, it's the best and worst year too. So the middle part, your upcoming year is gonna be oh, you gonna feel what I'm talking about. Junior year probably the same way. That senior year, you can be like, bruh, what is this?
Yeah, I didn't have class at all spring semester on Friday, and I was like, 3-day weekend every single week. This is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
No complaints from me.
Yeah, so your schedule's looking good. Then if you had 3-day weekend,
it was looking real good. And this fall, it ain't looking too easy. It ain't looking too good. So we about to have to really lock in.
It's all. I know you got it though. Not something you can't handle.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, you're a smart young lady. You got it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You just said you had A's and B's last year. So what we doing?
Yeah, it was a lot of hard work that went into it.
Smart don't mean it comes easy. Smart means you're able to figure it out.
Did you just drop a bar right now? Did you just drop a bar on this podcast?
I mean, I kind of drop bars for a living. You feel
my
me?
gosh. So. We might have to trademark that. You better not let somebody steal that from you when we drop this.
You gonna pay for the trademark, right?
I'm not. I've kind of doing this thing where I'm not making promises I can't keep anymore. This podcast has made me realize that, so I'm not making any promises.
I wasn't gonna bring it up. I'm being nice. I'm not even gonna go down that rabbit hole with you.
Wow.
I'm gonna just leave it alone.
He's
for now.
Generous. He's humble. He's really just.
Oh man. Let's pivot because I'm not even gonna go down the rabbit hole with you. I'm gonna just good for you for learning to not make promises that you can't keep. I'm saluting you, patting you on the back here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching and listening, please give her a round of applause for learning from episode number 1. Give it up. There we go.
Yeah.
Let's go. A little bit louder. Come on, guys. Come on. She needs to feel the love. Come on.
Just at growth. I mean, I gotta grow up. I'm 20 now. It's time to, mature a little.
Hey, progress is on the goal. You feel me? You just made progress. You've shown the growth 2 years later. So
that's what it's about right there.
Yeah, so oh man. I want to go there so bad, but I'm not going to. Okay.
We might save at least 15 minutes by not going there.
Probably 30, because I would stretch it out just for the heck of doing it.
You're probably right. I'm not gonna lie, you're probably right.
But I'm not doing it. Like I said, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to tell people how you still owe me shoes. I'm not going to tell them how we added you buying me a hat on there too. So we're just going to leave them knowing that you are not going to pay for the trademark. That's all they're going to know about. They're not going to know about the shoes or that.
Yeah, because I'm not making, because I'm grown up and like maturing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just who I'm becoming. I don't know. #progress.
Oh man, it's fun messing with you. So much fun. What's been like like we said, it's been 2 years, man. So what's been like the biggest lesson off the court in your life that you kind of been working through, or like you've learned in the past 2 years?
I don't know. So much has happened, because like I feel like last time we did a podcast and I was on the episode, it was like we just won state, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so coming out of that, obviously, like my plan was like, all right, go win another one, go into college, have a great freshman year, blah blah blah, and like things like obviously I had my plans and God had His plans, and how often do they ever look exactly alike? And obviously they didn't. Yep. So I would say the biggest thing I have really learned and like had to like kind of really accept is just like everything's not the end of the world. My senior year we didn't win state. I thought it was going to be the end of the world. Coming in freshman year, everything wasn't picture perfect. I thought it was going to be the end of the world. Like, but it's not. Like the sun's going to rise tomorrow. Like, it's just, like God is still good, So I think it's just like finding joy, like, and joy and happiness. Our team talks about it a lot. Those two things get, like, I think the word's like synonym. Like people think they're the same thing, but they're not. Happiness is so dependent on everything that's external, and joyness is so dependent on everything that's internal. And so I think like being content, in any situation is just, because, you just got to have joy in whatever you're going through because, there's another in the fire with you, God's got you. And I think that was my biggest thing is like, don't get complacent, but be content in whatever you're doing and wherever you're at. Because it don't matter what your plan looks like anyways. It's probably not going to happen.
Yeah. I heard somebody say this, but it's like, be ambitiously content. And so you have to be content to where if God never did another thing for me, you're content and you're at peace with it and you're feeling good. But you still want to have that ambition piece to where yeah, I'm grateful, but I see so much more that he has for me and I can go after. So you have to find that balance. It's gonna be different for everybody, but find that balance between content and thankful, gratitude. I'm appreciative. Like life is amazing, no matter where you're at.
Mhm.
Figure out whatever level of amazing life that you have. Figure that out and be there because it can be gone. You know, things could be worse. You could be a whole different situation.
Mhm.
So be content with that, but still know that more is out there for you. Like you can still be better, do better. There's always that next level to be chasing, but not the American mindset way that we've been driven to have. But it's like, uh, trying to get too deep on here, but like God still has more for us, you know.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
if you seen that picture of where a little girl has like a small little teddy
Teddy
bear in her
bear.
hands, and then he got a whole gigantic 3 times her size one behind his back.
Mhm.
It's figuring out, but like I appreciate the teddy bear I got now, but he's like, yo, just take one more step or just put that down for 1 second and I got you.
Mhm.
And some of us get content thinking, oh, we're supposed to be so humble and so, you know, behind the scenes too much to where it's like, bro, I got a whole different teddy bear for you that's
Yeah.
10 times better. You ain't got to stress about none of this. I got you. I'm going to take one step and I got you. But we get so stuck on the teddy bear we have now to where we can't appreciate or take in what's next for us. Or we get uh scarcity mindset where I'm holding on to this teddy bear too tight and I'm not letting it go. And I'm uh not appreciating it of what I have now, trying to chase the teddy bear that's next. And he's like, hold on, bro. Like you ain't even that teddy bear missing a whole arm, the leg halfway finna fall off, and the eye got scratches on it. Like, come on, bro. You're not appreciative of the bear you have now, but you hating on Jessica's bear because you didn't even appreciate the one you got.
Yeah.
So it's figuring out that balance of ambitious but still being content.
Yeah. And one thing, to go along with that is the scarcity mindset is like one thing that we say in our locker room all the time is like there's no scarcity in the kingdom of heaven. Like just because God gave this to somebody else doesn't mean that He can't, give it to you. So I think we do get
Mm-hmm.
that scarcity mindset a lot.
Oh yeah, I think we get it a lot too as hoopers because we
Oh yeah.
we deal with like this the ranking and the polls and if you're not first, you're last, Ricky Bobby mindset. We hear all these little different mindsets and sayings and stuff that kind of gets ingrained too deeply with us, and we don't take it as a hooper only. We apply that to our entire life, and so the class of 2025 girls ranking, if you're not number one, then it's like, oh, I'm not doing enough. I'm not right in my life because that's the scarcity mindset. Now, I'm not saying don't compete to be number one, but there are different lists out here. There are different awards. Like they're not going to always recognize. Like if you're being completely honest, most of these lists are not going to be right anyway. Like
Yeah.
there's going to be a girl in the
Oh
top
God.
10 that should be top 20 if you're being real.
Yeah.
Like she's more name and less game. So not to throw shade at anybody, 'cause I'm not thinking about anybody specifically,
Oh
but
yeah.
just in general.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's tough as hoopers to balance saying I'm appreciative of my number 99 spot, knowing that I can compete and be top 15, top 20, or being content with, or I'm just at a D2 school, but at the same time, we only respect or appreciate going to a D1 or a Power 5 school.
Yeah.
So it's really tough for Hooper to kind of balance that out because the world or people around us are like, oh, you didn't go to UConn or South Carolina, so you ain't doing it right. And it's like,
Yeah.
bro, what are you talking about?
Like
Like,
people love to talk though. Like, I mean, that's one thing that's gonna be for sure. Is like somebody's always gonna say something. Somebody's always got something to say, and you just gotta take it with a grain of salt. You gotta love them, but you just gotta say, all right, all right,
yeah, I got to a place where I don't even listen to most people.
yeah,
It's like if you're not someone who can, if you're not at where I want to be at, or someone who can that has the right mindset to help me get there, your commentary on this thing doesn't hold as much weight to me.
yeah,
So I appreciate what you have to say, but your mindset's not where it needs to be to help me get there.
yeah,
And I try to be respectful about it, and I take it. But it's like if somebody who kind of knows you but don't really know you, and it's like Thank you.
All right.
I
Appreciate
thank
that.
you for your comment. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Anything else? Okay, thank you. Thank you.
It's
Anyway,
all love. Like, all right. Like, okay. Yeah.
oh man. So you can't hold too much weight for everybody's comment, everybody's critiques and criticism. It's only a handful because you can't let everybody control your life like that. So as soon as you can learn that one, it's like, all right, only so many people can drive this car with me. You feel me? Like, if you're not my coach, my teammate, parents can be 50-50. You know, I'm not saying specifically, but in general,
Yeah.
parents can be 50-50 on this. Even people with a title or like certain names around you. So like as a trainer, your trainer might not always have the best advice for you because they're not seeing things the right way. They might be a little more biased and it's like, man, you should be starting. No, she shouldn't, bro. She's not doing what the girl in front of her is doing. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So just because I have the title of your trainer or as your coach or the title of your best friend doesn't mean my advice is the right advice.
Yeah.
So I'm always weighing that stuff out too. Just because you have this title or this position around me doesn't mean you're giving the smartest advice for me to move on to. So
For sure.
just weighing all that stuff out as a challenge for us. All right. Okay. Another time out. Okay. Look, if you got to this point, you have to be enjoying the episode. Like you have to. At this point in the episode, you're enjoying it. So help me help you. Just if you're on Apple right now and you're on your phone, okay, just take your phone, press the subscribe button. It's right there. Just do that with me. Even if on your laptop, take your mouse, boom, click over, boom, do your thing. Now you subscribe. Now you linked in because you don't want to miss the next great episode that I have. But doing stuff like this helps the episode grow, makes the show grow, and the podcast grow so I can keep getting great guests and keep doing great interviews. So if you listen on Apple or Spotify, take a second, look at your phone, press the follow button, okay? And share with a friend or two because you'll find the value in this. You want to have this conversation with your friends so they can have the same value. Now the whole basketball community can grow. All right. Thank you for listening so far. I'm gonna get out your way. Let's get back to the episode. Appreciate you. You're not gonna drop a bar? I'm waiting for you to drop a bar.
I don't even know if I can compete with that.
Listen, you got plenty. You were dropping a little bit earlier, man. I'm trying to like I thought we were having a bar battle. We going back and forth.
No, I mean I have to agree with that. I mean, I think like I said, everybody's gonna talk and you just can't like all that outside noise if you really like let all that get to you and like let all that weigh on you, like it's just gonna bring you, it's just gonna kill you, so I think like you said, you know who you can listen to, you know who has like the best intentions for you, and those people will put them at the top of the list and everybody else just gotta go under them.
Yeah, but I think we can say that, but to actually apply it is a whole different thing.
Oh yeah, because you like everybody. People can say whatever they want to say, but like we all want to be liked. We want to be like we want people to like who we are, and so I think we always take different people that we shouldn't their comments or whatever into consideration just because like we want them to like us or whatever. But like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if they have no pull over anything in your life.
Yeah, I think that stuff like that, we, especially like for you in your stage of life, because you're still kind of learning you at this level. So like high school is like the first phase of figuring out who you are, because everything before is kind of, want to be like your parents or want to be like your big brother or sister, or be like the big homie that you had around you, and you just kind of clinging from your environment, what's around you. Once you hit high school, it's kind of like you get around a different group of friends, and that's like the for real level of when the world is going on here.
Yeah.
Like that's the first time your life is kind of shaking up, because middle school was a certain way. Like you get a little taste of it, but high school hits you and it's like, oh, this ain't this ain't the same school I was in.
Yeah.
And then you go through that 4 years, and then college punch you in the mouth, and it's like, oh snap, this is a little bit like high school, but nothing like high school.
Yeah.
So you getting that first real taste, that second level of like, oh snap, who is Olivia? Who do I want to be? What do I like and don't like?
Yeah.
Then that third phase come, you leave school.
Yeah, and at the same time, like I obviously left home. Like I'm 2.5 hours away from my home, so like I'm close enough, but also close to where like I didn't know, anybody outside of my teammates when I moved to Nashville. So I think it was
Mhm.
just like meeting all those people and, figuring out like who do I want. Like obviously I want to be myself, but it's like they don't know who I am. So it's, like first impressions are like a huge thing in college because I
Mhm.
mean, I can remember last year, like people that I met, I was like, dang, the first time she met me, like, what did she say to me? And like, oh, I don't know if I like her, like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So
When you first got there, were you like, what was your intention behind meeting people? Because, like you said, your first impression means a lot. So, how did you carry that mindset with your classmates and stuff, with people you just saw around campus?
yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm I'm pretty outgoing, I would say. So, and I don't really get like nervous to talk to new people or anything like that. So I just kind of wanted to be who I was, be myself. I didn't want to put on any fake, you know, to make them think I was somebody that I wasn't because you can only hold that up for so long. So I mean, it sounds like a cliche, but I really was. I was just trying to be myself, be who I am, because it's worked for me this far, so might as well keep it up.
Mm. I remember when I was in high school. I think it might have been my junior year or senior. I can't remember now, but they were like, such and such went off to college and he did almost a 180, man. He didn't change the game up on how he was, because when you're in college, a lot of people don't know you. So you got a handful that might know you from your high school or from however you know them. But for the most part, these are brand new people who don't know you and don't have that same experience with you. So you're able to kind of reinvent yourself. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah. And I think a lot of people try to do that. And I mean, sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's good for
mhm.
people, to have that fresh start. But that just wasn't something I was really looking to try to do because I don't know. I mean, I was trying to
Yeah.
grow, obviously, and mature a little bit, but I wasn't trying to change who I was or anything like that.
I mean, besides the not keeping promises part, that's
Oh
the one
yeah,
part you did kind of,
that one, the maturity part, like yeah, growing up.
I see you. I see you. You growing up,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, I'm not in the teens anymore, so
You feel me?
I had to.
Big dub 2-0, you know?
What can I say?
Oh man. 20 years old. You are a, like you said, you're not a teen. I often say you're a grown woman, but you ain't like
I
all
ain't
the way grown yet.
grown yet. I ain't grown yet.
Yeah.
I'm about there. Maybe
You a young adult.
I'll be grown.
You getting there, you know?
Yeah.
You're in the maturation process. You're developing to become her.
Hey, day by day.
I know, man. Listen, I was in your shoes at one point. I felt like something when I was 20, thought I was doing a little something. And then I saw I wasn't. And then I felt like at a certain age, I'll be doing it by then. I hit that age and I'm like, no, I'm still not doing it yet. And now I'm at where I'm at now. And I'm like, nah, but it still ain't it. So
You're too hard on yourself, bruh. I mean, it's good.
oh, that's
Too
true.
hard,
Yeah,
but
that's
like
very true.
you're kind of killing it. I mean, I feel like you're doing a great job. You just say thank you.
Oh, thank you.
There we go. You got to learn how to accept the compliment. We'll work on it. I got to stop making promises I can't keep. You got to learn how to accept compliments. We're all just working on ourselves out here.
So true. That is so very true. I will work on that because that is true. I don't take compliments well,
I know.
but maybe you can teach me. You can take me through some classes and we'll work on it.
Yeah, it's usually just like, all you have to be is like, thank you. Works every time. It's never failed.
I mean, I hear you. Like I understand the words that just came out. I do. Like it registered.
Mhm.
But then my brain was like, that's not true. And it went through a whole little process. And that's where I'm at with it. Because I'm just like, yeah,
Because we got that perfectionist mentality. But sometimes you just gotta be like, thanks. And then get back to work.
I'm gonna take notes. Okay. So you said do what? So the compliment came
Mm-hmm.
and I just say thanks.
Yeah. Then you just say thanks. And then, those gears are still going to be turning in your head, but you just can't let everybody know that. Only the very few perfectionist mentality like us understand.
Okay, I got you. So say thanks and then get back to work. Ignore the gears. So that's a 3-step process.
Yeah. We could get more into detail, but we just don't have time for all that today.
Okay. We'll talk about it, later on. I'll call you and we can work through the steps and the processes of how to accept a compliment.
Yeah.
Okay.
I took a class on it, so
Now you should teach the class,
Not yet. I got some more learning to do first. We'll get to it one.
I mean, you can still just teach from the level that you're at because you're better than me, obviously. So
That's what I'm trying to do right now.
you messing up though. You're supposed to pay for it. Like you mean again, you got charged for it. So it's like, hey, I'm teaching the class on how to accept compliments.
No, it's free
And
for
you
the
charge people for
dogs. It's free for all my dogs.
I appreciate you, man. Good looking out. Oh man.
Title of podcast: How to Say Thank You.
With the Olivia Vandergriff.
Something like that.
No, what did you just say? You supposed to say what?
Oh yeah, thank you. There we go. Hey, I help you get better, you help me get better. That's progress.
And that's the only goal.
If you get it, you get it.
Hey, you feel me? We're on the same boat here,
Exactly.
Oh man. We will be here for another 3 hours doing this for real. But anything else you want to leave the people with, man? In any other life updates?
No, I'm just, down here at school, we're just working out. About to get to it. The whole team's gonna get here in July, so we're gonna kick that off. We have 2 freshmen coming in, so we're excited to get them into it. And just get everybody back together. So yeah, probably gonna go home before then though. See the fam, and that's really about all.
Well, I know the people are going to be excited to listen to this, or they are excited to have heard you now by the point of them listening to this episode.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like they listened to the episode all the way to this point.
Yeah.
And they're glad to have heard you again for episode number 2. I did. I said it right.
Okay,
Look at me.
yeah,
Okay.
period.
Yeah, I do my thing.
Yeah.
I've been podcasting for a minute, so my brain can circulate like that. But nah, man, it was dope having you back, man. It's good to see you doing your thing, man. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. Excited for year number 2. See you do your thing. We're gonna see you get a conference championship and get a NCAA tournament bid.
That's a
See
goal.
you dancing Sweet 16. Upset a team or 2. Light work.
No, it might not be light work, but day by day. That's all I can say. Day by day.
That's all it is.
Same.
So keep getting your NIL deals. Speak. If somebody wants to give me a deal, you got something. Okay. We can work on that too.
Slight brain slide.
If I'm definitely open to it. So if a brand would like to be a part of the BeBall Jones podcast, we can negotiate some things. I drink water a lot, just so people know.
This podcast is sponsored by
Yo, that gladly will say that. You feel me? If they give
At the
me,
beginning, not at the end, at the beginning.
oh, especially if they running some bread, oh, for
Oh,
sure, or at least a couple free drinks or something, man. Like, hey,
that's ease.
that'll be like easy. Like that's simple.
Mm,
That's light work. That's light work.
that's
That's
next.
true light work.
That's next.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna say the name to my audio listeners, but the people watching on YouTube, y'all, we here. So if y'all got the connections to them, let them know. Like, hey, run them a bag or a case or two. You
Yeah,
feel me? We can
we're
make it
not
work.
about to give them a free mention or nothing like that. But if you are watching on
Yeah,
YouTube, then
yeah.
you would saw, whatever.
You feel me? So if that company, I have other water brands too, maybe like 2 of them. But if y'all want to work something out here, I'm trying to be like my little sis and get me a couple partnerships and brand deals and stuff. So I got to catch up to her in that category. I'm sponsoring my own stuff. It's hard out here in these streets.
If
But
I remember correctly, I was supposed to get a shirt, and then I guess it really did get lost in the mail or something. I don't know.
now it's literally sitting in my trunk. I just haven't shipped it off. Yeah, I just never sent it off. At least I'm honest with you. I'm just like it's literally sitting in my trunk.
I'm not mad about it. This is a environment for honesty. So, that's where we're at.
One thing you don't have to worry about me doing you is lying to you. It's too much. I'm not gonna do that to you. So it's in my trunk right now. I'm gonna be real with you. It ain't no lost in the mail. It ain't no on the way. Nope. It's in my trunk right now. It's in my car this very second. So I got you though. I got you.
Soon.
I will either ship it off next week or whenever we meet up again. If we meet up, next time soon. We'll talk about that off here, But
Yeah.
it's coming one way or the other. Like I already thought it out. So I got you.
There's a plan in motion.
Yeah. See, I am forthcoming about my plan. Not someone got lost in the mail stuff. I don't know where that guy came from, but whatever.
Anyways.
So what I'm not gonna bring up again, I used to haven't gotten my shoes. We're not gonna talk about that. We're leaving that on the first episode. We're not gonna tell the people how 2 years later
Guess y'all have
still
to go
haven't
back
got my
and watch
shoes.
the first episode.
Yeah. So if y'all want to know what happened with her not getting me shoes, just go back and see her debacle. So
Oh, yeah.
Oh man. I appreciate you, man. This was another good one.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. Really enjoyed it. It's good always catching up and chopping up with you. So, really enjoyed it.
Hold on, look at my notes. Thank you.
Listeners, just give him a round of applause because we really had to work on that, and here we are now. It's 5 minutes later, and he's already making progress. So, man, it's just really good to see the student become the teacher out here.
Oh man, you are funny. So we're done here. This is it. This is the end of the episode. Oh man, I appreciate you guys for watching and listening. If you're a homie of Olivia's and y'all been rocking with her, hit her up, text her, call her, like, yo, I saw you on the podcast, doing your thing. It was dope. It was fire. My favorite part was when you didn't get him the shoes, and I feel like you should, make amends on that. And just let her know. You feel me? We're about accountability and truth here on the
Yes,
podcast.
accountability. Okay? Yes, truth.
So,
growth.
Yeah, all that wrapped in one. Growth, progress. We're about all of that. So let her know how dope she was on this podcast. Let her know she was amazing. And if you don't know her, it's your first time watching her, let her know. Hit her up like, yo, I saw you on the podcast. It was dope to finally meet you and know about you. Go watch her at a game, support the team, do that whole bit. And then rock with her on social media. Yeah, you feel me? Then rock with her on social media. Follow her on Instagram. I'll put the stuff below. Twitter. You got anything else when people follow you on?
No, I don't have any other social medias. I gave them up for Lent, and then I just never got them back. So, growth. Which really just means I don't have TikTok now, so still growth.
Well, yeah, if you want to rock with her outside of this, Instagram and I'll say TikTok and Twitter. It's actually X now, but whatever.
Yeah.
Those are two places you can rock with her. I haven't technically gave up any other social media. I just might not post everywhere else, but you can follow me on all stuff: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, somewhat, all that good stuff. You feel me? Follow the Statement Game while I'm promoting stuff. Follow that. It's a whole nother side project with my partner. We're doing that. Women's basketball got a whole different platform now, so we're building that up. But yeah,
Excited for that. Can't wait. That's on a whole nother conversation, so
that might have to be part 3 where we talk about that.
Yeah.
Once we get things,
because by then
on our end, we get stuff more clear.
By then, who knows how big that's gonna be? So
yeah, like another 2 years after you gone through college a little bit more, you might end up being a bigger part of what we got doing. We have no clue. You might end up being like one of the first people to kind of. We'll talk about that off here. What we got, don't worry.
You guys are just gonna have to stay tuned 2 years later for that.
Exactly. So, but for right now, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you for watching. Appreciate you for listening. I appreciate you, Olivia, for coming back on for part 2. Dose. And see you guys next time, man. Appreciate it.